Okay, hello everyone, good afternoon. So today we are going to continue with our third class of your account subject, right? So till yesterday's class we have been discussing about the definition of accounting, meaning of accounting, then we discussed scope of accounting, significance, then objectives. Significance, one more name is objectives, one more name is goals. What you are trying to achieve is objectives. Clear? Yes. Now today we are going to discuss further. We just briefly discussed about bookkeeping. Correct, everybody? Yes. So let's wait for a minute for online students to join us. Okay, whoever has joined can just put in the comment in the chat box. Okay. So let's start today's class. So first, yesterday we left at bookkeeping, correct? So what is bookkeeping? We discussed briefly where bookkeeping is nothing but maintaining the records of day-to-day transaction or recording day-to-day transaction, correct? Sir, then even in accounts there was a definition, sir. Recording, classifying and summarizing. Then even in accounting or an accountant also records the transaction, correct or no? So accountant also is recording the transaction, bookkeeper is also recording the transaction. Then how it is, sir? See, the bookkeeper will record the basic transactions every day. Whatever transaction happens, he keeps on recording. Now what accountant does is he classifies those transactions and record it in a particular book. We call it as purchase book, ledger, purchase ledger, sales ledger. There are different types of books which we'll discuss in the next chapter. But bookkeeper will record it in a single place, or he will record all the transactions in one place, right? But whereas accountant will classify those transactions and record it in a place where it should be actually recorded. Clear? Yes. See, that means you understand a bookkeeper can be anybody without accounting knowledge. Why? He's just recording the transaction. But whereas accountant, he needs to understand the concept of accounting, because he has to decide where exactly to classify and record this transaction. Correct? Yes. So bookkeeper doesn't need to have very technical knowledge or technical skill, whereas accountant needs technical skill and technical knowledge. Right? Everybody? Yes. So the major difference between bookkeeping and accounting is he records the transaction, but they record, classify and summarize the transaction. And second difference, what is the second difference? They need, the bookkeeper doesn't need any technical knowledge, but the accountant will have to have a highly skilled and technical knowledge. This bookkeeper also need knowledge, but if he has basic knowledge, that is more than enough. Clear? Yes. Now bookkeeping is first step of accounting. Can I say like that? Correct or no? See, first bookkeeper will record all the transaction. Based on those recorded transaction, an accountant will take those transaction and then convert it into other things like classifying, again recording, again summarizing, preparing the financial statement. Correct or no? Yes or no? So we can say bookkeeping is a preliminary or the first step of account. So bookkeeping will become input to accounting. Correct? Yes or no? Yes. So that is one more difference, where bookkeeping plays a primary role, that is initial role, whereas accountant or accounting or accountant will play he will completely take care of the entire life cycle of accounting. Correct or no? He classifies, he summarizes, he prepare the financial statements. Clear? Everybody is understanding? Yes. Next. Now accountant will also interpret and analyze the transaction. Correct? Whereas bookkeeper doesn't interpret or analyze the transaction. All he does is record the transactions. Everybody is understanding? Yes. So these are few of the major differences between bookkeeping and bookkeeper or bookkeeping process and accounting process or accountant. Understanding? So yes. So first is scope. He will record the transaction, or bookkeeping involves recording of transaction. Here recording, classifying, summarizing and interpreting. Here maintain accurate records, provide meaningful financial information. So here the bookkeeping process is only involved with maintaining the transaction ashte. But here it doesn't end there. In accounting, you have to, after recording the transaction, there is a need of, what is the need of recording the transaction? To get some inputs, right? To make the decision making. To make the decision making, if I give you 100 pages of sales, will you be able to decide? No. I need to properly analyze and put it into places. Then only you will be able to understand something out of that information. Correct? So here it involves converting that into meaningful financial information. Then here it is routine or clerical work. Here it is analytical and interpretive. Decision making, no role in decision making. We can't make any decisions on bookkeeping. We make decision on accounting. Correct or no? Because we take decisions on what basis upon? On financial position and financial performance. Correct or no? How the lopa? Yesterday class we discussed. A company will be evaluated based upon financial performance and its position. Where it came yesterday? Significance of accounting, scope of accounting, it came or no? Why we need accounting? Correct? Yes, we need accounting to understand the performance of evaluate the performance of the entity. Yesterday we read. Correct? Yes. It assists in managerial decision making. So accounting will assist in managerial decision making, but bookkeeping will not. Stages. First stage is accounting cycle. It is, I told you, it is input to accounting. So it is a primary step. Next, it includes later steps like analysis and reporting. See, it finishes off the entire accounting cycle. Clear? Next, here the skill required is basic. Here they need professional judgment and analytical skills. That means we need to have technical knowledge about the subject. Is everyone clear? Yes? Okay. Now, what are the subfields of accounting? Now you remember, you just if you remember what we discussed in our first class, can we just consider accounting as a subject which is not dependent on anything? Can we say like that? We discussed social science, you remember? Was it connected to there? How it was connected, sir? Sir, social science, why it was connected? Because of the economics. Correct? So, can we say, now let us say for example, how will you understand a country is progressing? GDP, correct? How the GDP figures are derived? Based upon all the countries' commercial data. From where that commercial data is coming, commercial data, consumption data, everything they will take. Where does that commercial data come from? They will sit at one place, commercial data, it will come. No. How it will come? Based upon company's financial, income tax returns being filed, GST returns being filed, correct or no? So it comes from lot of different places, correct? So ultimately, if you look at it, if a company or any entity, sole proprietor, company, partnership, if they maintain the accounts only, then they will be able to report all these things. So can we say that accounting is connected with economics also? Correct or no? Economic GDP or the judgment depends upon the numbers. And how does that number comes? That number comes because commercial operating entities will record those numbers in their books of accounts. Correct or no? They maintain the accounts. That is how the numbers are being derived from, right? So economics and accounting is interlinked. Now, can we use accounts without plus or minus? Can we say I have done sales of 10, 10, 10, 10, 10? So in my financial statement, I don't know to total it. So I also sales of 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Can I do like that? What will I do? I will add everything. Correct? So that means, am I using mathematics here? So people who have come to company secretary thinking that there is no mathematics, I don't want to continue mathematics. That is why I have taken commerce and come to company secretary. Sorry to say, mathematics is there everywhere. Only thing is you don't have to learn and put use of trigonometry and geometry in this subject. Basic mathematics, less plus, minus, subtractions, additions, multiplication, your algebra, your Bodamus, correct or no? All these things, basic things, nothing big, nothing huge. right? Moreover, you are given one more benefit: calculators are allowed, correct or no? Biggest plus in our life, correct? Yes. So accounting is linked even with the linked with our mathematics also. Accounting is linked with economics also. If you go looking at it, accounting is linked with many of the subjects. In the same way how accounting is linked with many of the subjects, no, accounting also has a subsets to it. What are those subsets, sir? Now I told you accounting is used in economics, correct? Yes. So can we say you are reporting to the government, that is nothing but complying with the law, is a part of subset of accounting field, correct or no? Complying with the law. Why you are complying with the law? Because if I report the numbers only, then we can derive something from that to tell that where we are standing in terms of economy, correct? Everybody is understanding? Yes. So complying with the law is also one of the subset of accounting, correct or no? So we can call it as your complying tax accounting, we can say, correct or no? Because what you are doing with accounts, you are giving government what data? I have earned so much profit, right? Why you are giving that figure? Because they want to understand how much tax they have to pay, correct? So we can call this as tax accounting, correct? To comply with the law, you are preparing the accounting. But what law? Tax laws. So whatever you prepare the accounts is also tax accounting, can we say? Yes. Okay, that is one subset of accounting. Then one more, sir. Sir, one is, yes, complying with the law, that I agree, sir. For complying with the law, we have to prepare books of accounts. We have prepared books of accounts, fine, sir. Is that the only use of accounting, sir? Is that the only use of accounting? Do you think people are preparing only books of account to pay the taxes? Why? If you remember, investors will depend upon that, correct or no? Investors wants to know in which directions you are heading, in which direction your company is going, whether it is going in the right direction, whether it is going in the wrong direction, whether there has to be any correction, whether some unit has to be closed, some unit has to be opened, whether we have to use this particular opportunity to start a new business unit, correct or no? So not only your investors, your management would also require that. Just like how, see, investors will think about only one thing: whether business is going in the right direction, whether we are making good profits or not. But management has to take the decision whether we have to close certain unit, whether we have to continue certain unit, whether we have to expand into new markets, whether we need to close any markets or any product which is not running, right? If you remember from your childhood days, some of the products you used to use may not be available now in the market. Why? Because the demand was not there, and continuing that product would have costed company a lot of money, correct? So that is why they would have discontinued the product, right? So management will also take decision based upon the accounting and on based upon the balance sheet and P&L. So when management is also able to take decision, the data which we provide from accounts to the management in the form of reports which they need is part of management accounting. What? Management accounting. So management will see, when I give balance sheet and P&L in front of the management, it will give you total figures of sales. Now management doesn't want that. They know total sales. They want to know what is the region wise sales, or what is the product wise sales, which product or which category or which segment of our company is doing what numbers, correct? So based upon our accounting, we derive certain more information. Again, we put it into summarization and give it to management. So all this process is part of your management accounting. Clear? Yes. Next is our basic fundamental one is anyhow is our financial accounting. Financial accounting is for balance sheet and P&L. Clear? So that is nothing but to give our investors the information. Correct? So financial accounting we have already discussed. Management accounting is discussed. Tax accounting is discussed. Now the next is there is something called as forensic accounting. What? Forensic accounting. Sir, now what is this forensic? Heard about the word forensic? Where? Huh? Science. If anybody has watched the CID repeated episodes, forensics, Daya, forensic Kubeju, correct or no? Yes. What is forensic? See, forensic is nothing but when something happens, you go and try to investigate what exactly has happened, right? You dive deeper as to know what is happening there. Incident has already been done, correct? Incident has already been done. Now say for example, best example, when a person dies, they do forensic reporting. So the death has already happened, but you don't have the information as to when the death has happened. How did he die or she die? Correct. That is where forensic will come into play. They will say this person has died from so and so reason, and this person has been dead on at approximately between this time to this time. How do they derive that? Based upon the signs. They draw some test. They do some test on you depending upon how stiff your muscle has become after. See, because when a person dies, their muscle becomes stiff, right? So based upon all those parameters, they have their own parameters. Based upon all those parameters, they declare how the person has been dead and what is the time, the estimated time or the approximate time, not exact time but approximate time he is dead, right? In the similar manner, in forensic account also there is forensic accounting and forensic auditing also. Here we are only talking about forensic accounting and forensic auditing. See, forensic accounting or auditing is nothing but the event has already happened. You are trying to go back to the event and trying to find out the answers which are not available with you. It is as good as doing a detective work. Understanding? So forensic accounting is also that only, doing a detective work. After doing the detective work, you are trying to put the things into one place. Say when I was an article, there was a forensic audit. Of course, I was not a part of major work, but I was involved in small work. I was assisting my senior. So we went to an attendance register outside. Every corporate entities outside there is a attendance register. Earlier, I mean, now biometric has come, but earlier there used to be a manual register as well. Correct. So in that manual register, we went on seeing signatures. Right now, one person's signature in 3 pages was totally looking different than what it was in the other pages. The way, see, every time we sign our, there might be small changes, like instead of like this we would have done like this, or small changes like if it goes like this, it might have gone little bit on the left side, but the style which we use will not change. Correct. Everybody has their own writing style. So based upon that, we found out for 1 week that employee has never turned up. Somebody is signing on behalf of him. All the students' favorite proxy. Correct or no? I will not attend the class, but when sir takes the class, you say, yes, sir. By ducking that too. He should not be visible. No? You will duck. Yes, sir. Correct? Proxy. So that is part of your forensic accounting and auditing. Clear? Yes? Okay. Next. Auditing. Forensic auditing is different. Auditing is different. Forensic auditing ಯಾವಾಗ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? You understand, when we do forensic auditing, we do forensic audit when we know that some crime has been done, some fraud has already taken place. Now we are going to investigate that fraud. That means I am going with the mind of detective straight away. Yes, but auditing is not like that. Auditing is I am going with a plain mind, thinking that everything is right. I am not going with the mind of investigator. I am going with the mind of just reviewer. There is a huge difference. If I come with the mind of investigators, I will not listen to anybody. Correct or no? See, police casually standing here and talking to people will not cause you any harm. But police, along with the barricade and 2 bikes being stopped there, and they are holding the helmet and requesting immediate alarm. Right or no? Yes or no? Like that. So if fraud has happened, immediately investigating mindset will take over. But if it is just an auditing, we'll just review the books of accounts. Correct? Sir, how auditing is connected with accounting, sir? Without accounting, there is no auditing. Correct or no? Books of accounts maintain madilla or audit in the martira. Right? So it is also subfield of your accounting. Clear? So we saw financial accounting, cost accounting, management accounting, tax accounting, auditing, forensic accounting. Next important is a new area. A new area which is coming up is environmental and social accounting. So what is this, sir? See, environmental or social accounting is nothing but when everybody knows in Mysore, in Hebbad industrial areas, Infosys has a huge campus, right? Estimated to be 300 acres or something like that. See, that 300 acres of campus to Infosys was given at a very, very negligible amount, very small amount, maybe 1 rupee 1 acre or 99 rupee 1 acre. Sir, why we are giving it for free, sir? You are giving it for free because the Infosys will use that land to generate the revenue. Along with that, they will generate employment also. Correct or no? They will generate the employment also. The main goal why now you must be seeing in news, Karnataka government is fighting, Andhra government is fighting, Telangana government is fighting. Why they are fighting? We want this company here. By the time next day, today DK Shivakumar will announce this company is coming to Karnataka. Next day they're straight away in Telangana. Correct or no? Why? Because when company comes in, they create employment. And every government, what is the youth asking? Employment. Understanding? Yes, everybody wants the employment. Now, just giving you example. Now come back to Infosys now. Now we have given Infosys, right? So what is the concept of giving it to Infosys? To give the employment to our Karnataka state people, right? Or Mysore region people, Hasan, Mysore, Kodagu, all those things, right? Now if you are a businessman who has been allotted 100 acres of land for 100 rupees, let's say, correct, with 99 years lease. Now, don't you think you have responsibility towards the society? Because that land belongs to whom? Public, right? Sir, government is sir. Whose is government? We are the government. We are forming the government, right? Ultimately, whose land is it? Public's. Correct. So it is our money. It is public's money which is being given to the company. If we would have sold that land, we would have earned crores together. But we are giving it for a very nominal amount. Why? Because we want to generate something out of it, right? So if you are a business owner and I've got 100 acres of land, don't you think you have a responsibility towards the society? Correct or no? Not only that, if you are having manufacturing unit and you are providing wastage, how do you treat that wastage and release is also your responsibility. Sir, I am using Kaveri water for manufacturing, Kaveri rivers, right? Now is it not your responsibility to use it in a very efficient manner? Correct or no? So all this kind of responsibility is called as social responsibility. And one more word we can use is social and sustainably we have to do everything sustainably. That means what, sir, I just because here there is a Kaveri river base doesn't mean that I can use the Kaveri river however I want. I should have a proper way of using it in an efficient manner, not wasting the river water, because the same water is helpful for drinking, is helpful for farming, correct? And that water helps us almost 3 to 4 regions, right? Kodagu, Mysore, Bangalore, even it goes to Tamil Nadu also, right? So you should, all the companies will have sustainability as a question mark, social responsibility as a question mark, environment is a question mark. That is why if you observe Infosys and TCS, Wipro, they do so much of donation, right? Infosys will take adopt a village, will adopt a school, they will develop a school. Why they are doing? Because they are giving back to the society what they have taken from the society. All those type of accounting will fall under environmental and social accounting. The next part is government accounting. Government accounting is nothing but how the government accounts all the money which it is coming to the government and how it is spent from the government's angle. So that is also called as public accounting, public sector accounting, public sector accounting. Understanding? Yes. Okay. Now, who are the users of accounting information, Appa? There are two types of users: external users, internal users. As the name itself suggests, internal users means who are part of the company, who are inside the company. Who are those, sir? Management. Correct or no? Management. Directors. Again, part of management. No, shareholders are not part of the company. Shareholders are external to the company. Why? See, part of the company means who are getting involved in day-to-day operations of the company. Are shareholders getting involved in day-to-day operation? No. They don't know. That is why you are giving balance sheet and P&L. Understanding? So who are the internal users? Your employees, your management, your directors, CEO, CFO, whatever you take. All these people are your internal users. Now, who are external users? Who are not associated with the company on day-to-day basis. That means what? They don't oversee the operations of the company on daily basis. So who are those? Shareholders, right? First part, shareholders. Creditors is the second part. Why creditors want, sir? Why are creditors bothered about my company? They don't lend the money, sir. They give the goods on credit. So they also want to know now what is your credit worthiness. Without knowing, how will they lend the money? Sorry, how will they give the goods on credit? Correct? Yes. So that is how creditors also want it. Then next, government. Why government needs it? Taxes. Not only taxes, economic activity, GDP. To derive that figures, we need it. Correct or no? Just discussed how accounting is interlinked with mathematics and management and economics. Correct or no? So to derive that, coming there. Even so, how the figures are derived. So government is also interested in your is also interested in your financial statement. So that means they are also users. The next one is our lenders. Lenders is what? The one who gives us the loan. So who are those, sir? Financial institution, banks, NBFCs, correct? Finance companies, debenture holders. If company is taking loan from individuals or outside the financial institution, they give it in the form of debentures. They issue the debentures, they take the money. Understanding? Yes. Okay. So all these are external uses of the financial information. Am I clear? See, stakeholders is a big word. See, stakeholders, when we use, it means it covers lot of people. Say, for example, if I say external stakeholders, that means it covers creditors also. It covers lenders also. Stakeholders is something which we say, which when we cover 2 to 3 people in one group. Understanding? So that is called as stakeholder. So when I say, if you take this decision, there is lot of stake on you. That means what? Lot of people will come and question you. Understanding? So stakeholders is group word. We can call it as a group. Internal stakeholders can also be there in your company. So how you use that word depends upon that. Okay. Yeah. So stakeholders is just a normal general term which is used. Clear? Okay. So see here, investors, shareholders, creditors, lender, government, and public. Now public, how it is interested, sir? As I told you, they want to see whatever free was given. Are you giving back something to the society also? Next, management, employees, and trade unions. What is trade union? Whenever a manufacturing unit or whenever any businesses, there are laborers involved, not employees. There is a difference between laborers and employees. Clear? So employees are somebody who are not into the basic activity. Say for example, in manufacturing, an accountant will become an employee. Now who is labor then, sir? Labor is somebody who works on the floor of the manufacturing unit. Say for example, you are manufacturing a machinery. The person who puts in efforts in manufacturing of that machinery is called as labor. Who earns wages, not salary. Clear? So we can say in manufacturing unit there is somebody who is drilling something. Correct? He is labor. The person who sits at one place, just observes or key in some number or work on the system, they are called as usually employees. So that is why we see the word blue collar job, white collar job, right? So blue collar is who? The laborers. The white collar is who? Employees. Clear? So there will be, in a floor of manufacturing, there will be a supervisor also. Now that supervisor is not a labor, he's an employee. Why? Because he is literally not getting involved in process of manufacturing. The people who literally get involved in the process of manufacturing will be called as laborers. Clear? Everybody is understanding? Yes. Okay. So even that trade unions will be given for laborers. Laborers can only make the trade unions. Trade union is nothing but for example, 400 people are working in one factory. All the 400 people can form a society, or they can form an association. That association will represent the entire laborers. Because say for example, if one labor wants hike, can that one labor go and talk to the management? No. The power dimension, correct or no? How will he count? Management will say, why I have to come and meet him? No power with the labor if there are one. That is why what they do, they form a association. Now it is 400 laborers represented by one union, and they will go to the management. Correct or no? It is kind of a group created to safeguard the labor's interest. Clear? So you must have already heard in news, labor union strike, lorry union strike. Correct? Bus driver union strike. So that means what? All the bus drivers in that particular state would have formed a association, and that association would have started doing the strike. Clear, everybody? Now, yeah, as we were discussing that time, accounting is how interlinked with other subject also. As I told you, accounting is one part, economics is one part, management is also one part. Yes, management accounting, I told you. Yes, so accounting is linked with mathematics, accounting is linked with your management, accounting is linked with your economics, accounting is even linked with your law, accounting is even linked with the statistics. Sir, mathematics and statistics barada, correct or no? We use statistics also in accounting, sir. How we use statistics in accounting, sir? You know ratios, correct or no? Ratios, heard about it? Ratio is part of statistics. Understanding? So that is how we use accounting and statistics, how they are interlinked. That means we cannot say I will do accounting without the statistics, without the knowledge of mathematics. Not possible. Clear? Yes. So it is interlinked. Next. Now we are going to see disadvantages or limitation of accounting. Can you just, now we have understood the entire concept of accounting, can you guys tell me what can be the disadvantages of accounting? I explained so much, right? We have understood accounting so deeply now. What can be disadvantages? What disadvantages can you think about it? All the students, even live students, can comment in the answers. Yeah. What can be the disadvantages of accounting or limitations of accounting? Predictions. So you are saying it cannot predict. Okay. So you are saying that, sir, accounting is a prediction which can be changed or which gets changed, which will or which may get changed. Correct. That is what. Okay. Fine. Very good. It only records monetary transaction, and he is also right. It accounting is something which cannot predict the future. It will give you today one figure, tomorrow it may give one figure. Correct. Accounting will never be able to predict your future, right? So it is always based upon past. Correct. So accounting is a historical in nature. Correct or not? It will not ask you. It will not say tomorrow you are going to make 10,000 sales. No. You can only make. Yeah. You can only say that from last 1 year you have made 1 crore sales, and based upon that you may estimate, project using statistics, trend lines. So from last year, this year, this is the growth, this is the growth, this is the growth. You can make a trend. COVID came. What happened? Correct or not? Trend straight away came down to bottom. So accounting can never predict. Clear? So it is always historical in nature. And yes, as she rightly said, it is a monetary in nature. Non-monetary things are not counted. Skills of an employee, can it be shown in the balance sheet? No. Emotions of an employee, one person worked for 30 years in one company, the loyalty, can you show it in the balance sheet? No. Correct? Yes. Good. Next, anything else? So 2 points. Historical in nature. Yes, manipulation is possible. We can make fraud. If management decides, I will simply show 1 lakh sales, they can show that. Manipulation is possible. That is where auditing will come into picture. Correct or no? Yes, but auditing is a step where to eliminate that manipulation, auditing is coming. But accounting itself by itself cannot stop. Correct? Why? That is why it is a limitation. Then, so now next thing you can interconnect. Historical in nature. Correct or no? So let's give you an example. If you have 1 lakh today and if you had 1 lakh in 2001, are both 1 lakh same? That time 1 lakh was almost equal to 1 crore. Mysurali, you could have purchased the property in prime areas, at least 3 to 4 properties, if not one. Correct? Huh? Yes or no? Aram say, on 2 properties minimum you could have bought in 1 lakh. Today for 1 lakh, what you will get? Sir, 1 lakh I am unable to get a rental home. Advance itself is 3 lakhs. Correct or no? Where is 1 lakh? Right? So do you think the 1 lakh is same in 2001 to this? Now imagine, we try to compare between the financial statements, right? If you compare 2001 and 2010, will it be justifiable? Inflation is not accounted for. The real and the present value of the money is not accounted in accounting. It is always recorded at historical cost. Historically, what has happened, it will remain as it is. There will be no changes in that. So that is one of the limitation. Inflation is kept out of the purview. Correct? Anything else? So how many points we discussed? One is historical in nature. Second is non-monetary things are not captured. Then manipulation is possible. Then inflation and present value concept is not captured. Then one more disadvantage is certain things in accounting cannot be told accurately. Sir, how da? Then why we are doing accounting? Yes. Whenever we purchase plant and machinery, we charge something called as depreciation. I have told you in first class we discussed wear and tear of the asset. Now, do you think the depreciation, whatever we charge based upon the percentage, say 10%, 15%, something we charge like that. Now, I purchased this laptop. Yes. So, as per the rules, the laptop has to be depreciated at 33%, let's say. Okay, 33%. So, year one, I depreciated at 30%. But what has happened? No, year one only half of the laptop's life is gone. Why? Somebody has dropped it. Somebody has thrown it. Somebody has tossed it. Gopi Bahu, somebody has washed the laptop. Correct or no? Yes. So now tell me, is my depreciation telling you correctly what is happening with the asset? No. You are simply estimating it, correct or no? You are saying 33% every year. That means by 3 years I will complete the usage of the asset. But do you really think laptops may come? Either it may come for 10 years also, it may come for 1 year also. Nobody knows. Correct? So some of the things in accounting is based on estimate. Correct? So there is no accuracy. So that is why when we do the audit and we give an opinion on the financial statements of a company, we never say the financial statements are accurate. We say financial statements are true and fair. We never use the word accurate. We just use the word fair. That means what? In the present situation, this looks okay. This looks correct. In present situation, the situation may change. Correct or no? Or the situation may be something else. If the estimate changes, situation changes. Correct or no? So that is why we use the word true and fair. We never use the word true and accurate. So those are your limitation. So historical in nature, subjectivity in estimate, ignore non-monetary factors, manipulation, inflation, and it is static in nature. Sir, what is this static in nature? Now, of course, I will not say accounting will always remain static. It will keep on changing, evolving. The new rules will come. Sir, give one example. What is the meaning of this static? See, what happens is, say, now everybody has heard about cryptocurrency. Yeah? Everybody, blockchain, cryptocurrency, all those things. Now, people are still going crazy about how to do accounting of cryptocurrency. Understanding? People are not understanding how do we account the sale or purchase of cryptocurrency? Why? Because there is no underlying asset. If when you purchase a shares, no, there is an underlying asset. What is that asset? Share, ownership of the company. But when you purchase cryptocurrency, what is the underlying asset? Nothing. You don't know. Tomorrow, if that cryptocurrency, whoever has invented, if it shuts down everything, you are gone. Correct or no? So in share market, there is something called as options. There is something called as futures. See that futures and options, no, even though that futures and options is just a namesake, a script, but always remember the price of that futures and options is depending upon an underlying asset. And what is that underlying asset? A share. How the share price moves, depending upon that, the options and future prices will also move. So options and future are interdependent with the shares, are interdependent with that company. But in case of cryptocurrency, what is there? Suddenly a cryptocurrency will go up. Why? Nobody knows. Elon Musk tweeted Dogecoin. Fine, it went up, right? Next, what happened? Suddenly, they predicted like it will reach that this Nobody knows. Now Bitcoin, where was it? Where it has come now? 1 lakh to it has come to 61 lakhs. Now how it is being derived? Nobody knows. What is the market price or the value of the cryptocurrency is totally depending upon demand and supply, upon nothing else. Only demand and supply. But shares are not depending upon demand and supply, sir. Derivatives and options are not depending upon demand and supply. A share price will come up or go down depending upon how the company is actually performing. If the company is performing well, the share price will go up. If the company is not performing well, the share price will come down. That has a meaning. Correct or no? It is not purely demand and supply. But whereas in cryptocurrency, nobody knows what is happening. Somebody will mine the currency, somebody will sell the currency, somebody will buy the currency. Ultimately, still till date, nobody has understood how we can use the cryptocurrency. Everybody is, as of now, everybody is buying it for investment purpose. They say it will go to 60 lakh, 1 crore, 10 crore, 15 crore. I don't know how it is going to go up. Huh? It is in the downfall right now, I know. But people predict like that, right? Buy now, it will go to 1 crore now. The Bitcoin will go to 1 crore. Correct? How? Why? Nobody knows. So, such type of accounting will get difficult under the normal, because our accounting follows a very traditional, conventional way of doing things, debit to credit. Correct or no? In cryptocurrency, what debit, what credit, how you want to do? I mean, the nature should be there, no? How will? Of course, we can account cryptocurrency. I'm not telling we cannot account cryptocurrency, but how exactly we can adjust that value of that cryptocurrency? After you purchase, today you purchased for 1 lakh, tomorrow it became 10 lakh. Day after tomorrow it became 50,000. Correct or no? So all those things will get difficult in accounting. So of course, slowly accounting will also get evolved. Rules will come into place. Just like how in India, income tax earlier, like 2 years back, we didn't know how to treat the taxation on cryptocurrency. Now last year, they declared that cryptocurrency has to be shown like this. Taxes has to be paid like this. Okay? So it will get evolved, but it is one of the limitation. Now, important knowledge for you guys. Now, why accounting is required for company secretaries? Correct. Everybody first question, sir, ella okay sir, CSEET ನಲ್ಲಿ accounts ಯಾಕೆ sir? Correct sir. Why we need accounts sir? Why you need accounts is because understand, you are the guys who are going to push a company into IPO, listing, funding, SEBI compliance, LODR compliance, secretarial audits. Huh? Without knowing accounts, you will say that I will complete the secretarial audit. What you will do? You are filing annual returns of a company. Without knowing accounting, will you sign yourself on that annual return of the company of Ministry of Corporate Affairs? Whatever they prepare, yes, agree, sign. Huh? Don't become such company secretaries. You are here to become a good company secretary, right? So to become a good company secretary, you need to know accounts, correct or no? Because see, don't just think that your compliance part, secretarial auditor, I just have to fill the return and file it. No, boss, you have to understand what you are signing. Correct or no? Don't sign. If that is the case, you can sign on white paper also. Correct. Before even you sign, you need to know whether the things are being done. If you don't know what is asset, what is liability, what is income, what is expense, what you are signing. This is one part. Second part is, are you not going to guide your management whether they are going right or wrong? Huh? You can guide them. Sir, this is our profit. This is getting very low. We have to do something. You are going to play that role. Once you are becoming a company secretary, you are going to guide the company. You are going to shape the company, hand holding the company. See, a company today is having a turnover of 2 crores. Now they come to you and they say we need funding of 1 crore. What you will do? First you will tell them, boss, for next 1 year, I will nurture you. For next 1 year, you grow from 2 crores to 3 crores. For that, I will help you. Where we need to make the changes. How to make the changes. Are you not holding their hands to the management and showing them the way? So for that, what you need? You need the knowledge of accounting. Correct or no? So you need knowledge of accounting in management. You need knowledge of accounting in compliance. You even need knowledge of accounting for costing purpose. Say if an client comes to you and says, sir, I am manufacturing this pen. I'm thinking of selling it at 20 rupees. Will you say, yeah, good, go ahead? No, you need to understand, okay, sir, how much you are putting in this pen? How much cost is it happening to you to manufacturing this pen? You have to derive all that information. Correct or no? Then only we'll be able to guide to him, no, this is 20 rupees is very less, you have to increase the price. Or you have to say 20 rupees is too high, we have to reduce the price. You are keeping margin of 100%, which is not going to sustain in the market. Correct? So you are going to guide your clients. So company secretary will play a very, very important role. And even a company secretary becomes a mediator between external users and the company, because based upon your certification and a CA certification, based upon your certification and CA certification, it depends. Correct? The external users has to believe it or not. If you and me certify it in a right manner, then only external users will be happy and will take it forward. So as a company secretary, you play a very important role. Clear? So we'll wind up the class here for today. There is some more portion, maybe 10-15% of left in this chapter, which we'll discuss in the next class. Clear? Yes? Okay. Thank you guys.